Ever look at the stock market and just feel a little bit lost? Well, today we're going to cut right through all of that noise. We're going to build a simple but really powerful toolkit that'll help you start analyzing stocks right from day one.
So it's the million-dollar question, right? How do you actually know if a stock is a good investment? Well, the answer starts with knowing what to look for. So let's dive into the first two essential tools that every single investor needs to know. All right, first things first, we're going to start with the most basic question you can possibly ask about a company on the stock market. Just how big is it? And that's where our first tool comes in. It's called market capitalization, or just market cap. And you can think of it as the company's total price tag. If you had a ton of money and wanted to buy the entire company, every single share, the market cap is the number you'd be looking at. And you know what? The math here is actually super simple. You just take the price of one single share, find out how many total shares exist out there, and you multiply them together. That's it. That is the market cap.
So when you do that math for a giant company like Hindustan Unilever, you get this enormous number. We're talking about almost 6 lakh crores. A number like that tells you immediately, okay, we are dealing with one of the largest, most established companies in the country.
Okay, so now we know the company's size. But is its stock price fair? Is it cheap? Is it expensive? To answer that, we need our second tool, the price-to-earnings ratio, or what everyone just calls the PE ratio.
Now, before we jump into the whole PE ratio, we've got to break it down and really understand its most important part, and that's the E. It stands for earnings, and it's the absolute key to figuring out a company's value. Let's make this really simple. Forget giant corporations for a second, and just picture a small local shop. And let's say that after a whole year, after paying all its bills, it made a total profit of 100 rupees. Now, this shop isn't owned by just one person. It's owned by 4 equal partners. Each one owns an identical slice of the business. You can think of them just like 4 shareholders in a big public company. So, if we've got 100 rupees in profit and 4 equal owners, what's each person's share of that profit? Exactly 25 rupees each. And just like that, you've understood a really core concept in investing, earnings per share, or EPS. It's the same idea, a company's total profit divided by all of its shares. So now we can put it all together. The P/E ratio, it takes the share price, that's the P, and divides it by the earnings per share, that's the E. It's really just asking a simple question. For every single rupee a company earns per share, how many rupees are investors willing to pay for it? Let's go back to our big example, Hindustan Unilever. Its PE ratio is around 70. This means that for every 1 rupee of profit it makes per share, investors are willing to pay 70 rupees for that share, which, of course, leads to a pretty obvious and very crucial question. So, is a PE of 70 high? Is it low? Is it fair? Well, the number by itself doesn't really tell us anything. To figure that out, we have to add some context. You see, a PE ratio in a vacuum is pretty much useless. A PE of 70 could be ridiculously expensive for a company that isn't growing much. But it might be a totally fair price for a company whose profits are absolutely exploding year after year. Context, you see, is everything. So the first piece of context is history. We can look back in time. And if we look at HUL, we can see that it used to trade at a much lower PE, somewhere between 27 and 40. Today, it's at 70. This is our first major clue that, hey, compared to its own past, this stock is historically on the expensive side right now. But why would people be willing to pay more? Well, that brings us to the second and maybe more interesting piece of context, growth. See, HUL's profit growth has actually been speeding up. It went from a 9% average to 13% to 15% last year. This accelerating performance is a huge reason why the market is willing to give it that higher PE valuation today. So we know how to check the size of a company with market cap, and we know how to evaluate its price using the PE ratio, its history, and its growth. So let's apply this whole framework to another company we all know, Colgate, just to see how this works in the real world. And when we put them side by side, a really interesting picture starts to form. You see, both companies have accelerating profit growth, which is fantastic. But Colgate's PE is around 39, which is much more reasonable and in line with its own history. Meanwhile, HUL is sitting at that historical high of 70. Now, this is the most important point. This analysis does not mean buy Colgate or sell Ho. That's not what this is about. You should think of this whole process as a powerful filter. It tells us that, hey,
Colgate might be an interesting company to research further because its performance is getting better, but its stock price hasn't run up to some crazy extreme. All right, let's do a quick recap of what we've just built here. In just a few minutes, you've learned a simple, logical, and I think you'll find an incredibly effective toolkit to start doing your own analysis. It's really just a beginner's 4-step framework. 1. Check the market cap to understand size. 2. Find the PE ratio to see the current price tag. 3. Compare that PE to its own history to check if it's cheap or expensive for itself. And 4. Compare that PE to its profit growth so you can understand the story behind the price.
The goal here isn't to find some magic buy button. The goal is to learn how to think critically, to filter through thousands of companies to find the ones that are actually worth your time and your attention. You're no longer starting from zero. You now have a framework to begin your own journey. So the only question left is, which company will you analyze first?